Hi, my name is Marky. I'm from Alia Tempora, and you are listening to Grizzly MP3 channel.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Grizzly ENT podcast. Today, I'm here joined by Marky. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you so much. I'm in a Christmas mood already.
Yeah, most people are when Halloween was over. I
Oh
don't,
yes.
I don't know why that's such a pet peeve of mine. Like seeing like Christmas decorations in November. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, but now it's December already, so I allowed myself to start to feel Christmas mood at 1st of December.
Most people just have the Mariah Carey blasted and have the lights and everything going already. I mean,
Yes.
if you like look on Google or something like that, I think like the Mariah Carey like Christmas song, like it literally like spikes. Like if you look for search results, it just like flatlines and then it goes to November and it just shoots up and then just goes right back down.
Yes.
Okay. So basically we don't really have kind of plans for what we talk about. I just bring up some, topics in the news or whatever comes up in conversation, and usually we
Yeah.
talk for about, 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how it's going. so
Yes, how interesting I will be.
so I actually have some news stories that I was looking at before I pulled everything up. And a big one recently is the monoliths that were being sent in California, Utah, and Romania. And I don't exactly know what they are. They kind of just look like glass tubes, like they look like glass columns. But apparently,
Mhm.
people are saying that these are things sent from aliens and stuff like that. And I'm
Okay.
think and my whole like I thought it was very fitting considering, the whole uh medium that you guys have for your music of mixing in EDM with metal and rock and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I'm guessing that I'm guessing that everybody in the band believes in the supernatural.
Well, that's a tricky question because I don't even know about every one of the band what they think about this stuff. I think we have someone religious there. We also have someone who believes in like energies and stuff. But about aliens, probably no one of the band.
Really?
But yeah, I think no.
That,
But always like that there is something like mostly like the universe stuff, like the universe is connecting
yeah.
people and it's affecting everyone. So
Yeah, because I mean, some people have different beliefs when it comes to the supernatural and stuff like that. I myself, I'm always been constantly paranoid, so I believe in the supernatural. I believe in,
hmm.
I believe in the weirdest things, like myth wise, like Sasquatch. I believe, like
Really?
I don't
Wow.
know if I believe in that one, but like some things just have a lot of call signs and a lot of just
Hmm.
too and some of it hits close to home as well. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of the Mothman myth, but in West Virginia, which is a state a couple hours from me, uh there's a myth where the Mothman back in 67, it was either 1967 or 68, and it was in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and there was a supposed Mothman. It's
Hmm.
kind of speaks for itself. A moth that was like a man, but it was on top of this bridge. And what happened was that a couple of hours later, the bridge ended up falling, and it like basically became like a myth surrounding West Virginia. Now, myself, I grew up on the outskirts of West Virginia, so I heard about the Mothman myth
Hmm.
and everything like that. So
Yes.
and I would always be that kid. I would always be in the library and I'd look for the supernatural books and start reading them and stuff like that. So, I mean, do I believe that there's aliens that are looking at us and planning to do world domination? Maybe, but
Hmm.
you can't really tell because it's something that people have
Yes.
always talked about, but at the same time, you can't tell if they've had experiences with it because this is a weird thing to say, but I've always wanted to be abducted by aliens. Like it's I mean, like, imagine telling that story. Like, imagine telling somebody, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was abducted by aliens, and they told me this and this." it,
Well, I know about place you would end at probably after saying this to people, but yeah, yeah. And I actually think that there must be something because the universe is so huge, we don't even know, and
yeah,
there must be some kind of life. Definitely, I don't consider us like to be so special to be only living creatures.
yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, on the planet, of course, but
Have you ever had any sort of supernatural experiences? Like, it doesn't have to be aliens. It just something supernatural.
well, I just had some kind of like you think of something and then it happens, or you think of some
Deja vu.
person and then you meet that person, or
Yeah,
such things, or you just think about something, you want to say that, and another person do this or say the same thing. So I think I believe in this kind of connection between people. That is like subconsciousness, but
that does sound interesting because I do have that like thought a lot of the time. Like, you'll think of something that you've seen recently, and then
mm-hmm,
you'll forget about it, and then as soon as like something comes up, it reminds you of it, and you're like, oh wow, again. Like for me, it's
mm-hmm,
almost a
yeah.
daily occurrence. Like it's kind of wild. And while we're on the topic of aliens and space and stuff like that, I thought I might bring up some weird space facts that I've learned in my
Mm-hmm.
years of going through 11th grade astronomy and going on my 3 a.m. YouTube binges about space and stuff like that. So one of them that I found very interesting was a I forgot what it was. I think it was a nebula
Mm-hmm.
a lot of light years away, and it's completely made of alcohol. And what struck me the most about this story was the fact of how many gallons of beer it could make. It's a billion gallons. I don't even know what that's
Wow.
supposed to look like in numbers, but all I gotta say is somebody better be getting an Uber home. You know what I mean? It's that,
Yeah. Oh my God. That's crazy.
and there's a I don't, is it a planet? Yeah, it's a planet. It's called Gliese 46b, and it's basically it's a diamond planet. That is what it's referred to. It's about
Hmm.
10 billion trillion billion carats. The whole planet is made of
Wow.
diamond. Uh,
Wow. You got some research done.
yeah. Well, this one I've known for like years, but my final one is something that it still kind of confuses me to this day. I forgot the name of it, but there is a planet that is called the Bipolar Planet.
Hmm.
Essentially, it's covered in burning ice.
Hmm.
Now, I did research this one like years ago because I was wondering how. So basically, what happens is that the gravity on that planet is so I don't know if dense is the right word, but it has extremely low gravity. So what happens is that it super compresses the ice. It super compresses the ice so that you don't it doesn't burn, it doesn't melt. It just kind of sits there. And
Wow.
uh and also another thing is that if you step on the planet, one side will instantly burn you and then the other side will instantly freeze you. So
Wow.
it's not like something that we need to talk
Of
to Elon
course.
Musk about sending us to Mars or whatever, but uh,
Yeah.
well, that's something I can get your opinion on. I think I don't know if you've heard about Elon Musk like sending people to Mars in the very near future. Now,
Yeah.
what
I'm
is your
curious
opinion on
about it.
that?
Uh, I like it. I mean, I think um I would not dare to to go there myself. I'm a huge chicken. I'm afraid even in a plane, and I would go crazy, to be so far from Earth and in
Mhm.
such a conditions. I think it would be just too much for me. But for people that feel like they are strong enough for this, or they feel like they could handle this, I think it must be just lifetime experience. I can't imagine anything more crazy and amazing than this. So I think it's amazing that he will try to give people opportunity to try it for a huge money, of course, but you know
Well, no,
it's a huge step.
I don't even think they're doing it for money because the last time I heard, it's like a one-way trip. Like they're literally going to Mars and staying there.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's
Oh sorry. Yeah,
like if
you're
there was a
right. I
if yeah, it's just I was wondering like if there was a financial thing for it, I would understand. But like
Yeah, I mistaken it with the moon. I'm sorry.
it's all right.
But
But
yeah,
it's like the 6 or 7 people that they're sending. Like you got to think those people have like I don't want to say that they don't have lives, but like they're
they
just
have
throwing.
balls. They have balls.
Yes, they do. But I'm just saying, like, they have to throw everything away on Earth
Yeah,
that they have and immediately go to some spot that, or some planet that
that's
they might not
crazy.
even make it there. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
a good step. And I know you want to make history and everything, but it's like, it's scary. Like, like, you got to think
Well,
about it too. Earth is filled with a blue sky, so everything looks so much calm and peaceful. Mars just has a
mhm,
red atmosphere. It will just look like you're just standing on hell. Like, I mean,
mhm.
some people would want to do that,
Yes.
but like, it's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, they must have like very, very specific way of thinking, because I don't think that, like, just if they would not make it there, it would not be the worst thing that can happen to them. I think living
Mhm.
there and just knowing that you are so far from everything, from the humanity, from everything you have known. I couldn't even imagine that. And they must live there for many years. I would go crazy. I would probably kill myself. I don't know. It's a very, very crazy idea. But
There,
if they feel like that, I'm just a little bit afraid that maybe some people, they think like they would they would like to do that. They feel like they would be perfect for this. But what if they go there and they realize that it's not for them because it's unimaginable? So maybe what can they do? Because as you said, it's a one-way ticket. So then what? It's just no way back.
yeah, it really is crazy. And thinking about the colonization of Mars and stuff like that just reminded me of a news story back in I think it was the 60s or the 70s where it was a magazine and basically they were predicting colonization of the moon.
Hmm.
And they were basically saying that we would have a bunch of ways that if Earth were ever to be destroyed, we would have another safe haven on the moon
Hmm.
by not even by keeping the human race in vials and basically creating genetic humans. Now,
Okay.
obviously, this was completely wrong because the prediction was supposed to be in 2001 or 2010. I don't remember, but they back in
Hmm.
the 60s they said that, and there was a bunch of weird news stories about the moon back in the 60s. Like apparently, I remember this one specifically. They were basically saying that I think it was Reader's Digest. They were saying that the
Hmm.
moon is covered in the moon was covered in beavers, unicorns, and flying humans.
But that's true. That's true. I'm totally in with the unicorns.
I just thought of that. Like, why specifically those three things? And
Yeah, well,
why are
that's kind of
beavers
weird.
the weirdest thing out of that thing though? Like I get unicorns, I get flying humans, but why
Yeah,
beavers of all people? Like it's
yeah, that's crazy.
and So also I have something on my podcast I usually do. I usually bring up the artists, I guess your discography, and I go through the most interesting titles, and I basically just get your thoughts and your uh I guess your meanings behind some of the titles. So first off, we you have your 2015 record Digital Cube. First
Mhm.
off, we can start with the title track.
Well, I need to remember because it's a long time ago. But this album was about. It was at the time when this all started to be a problem. You know, the virtual world and digitalization and social media. It started to be a problem, and that's the first time when we started to talk about it, and we um, decided that we want to talk about it through our music. So the digital cube is actually about how weird, crazy, and dangerous it is to live in your virtual world, the virtual cube, and where it can lead to, and also how to think about it, how to think about it from outside of that box, outside of that cube. So that's what this main song was about, to realize that we are in that at the moment, we are in that cube and we are struggling with this, and we are like mostly have problems with depressions because of it, and about how to change it, how to look at it from the bigger perspective and see where you are at the moment, and realize that this is not the reality that we see in our digital world.
Okay. And is that just for that title song, or is it like a bigger thing about the album as well? Like, is that sort of like your message that you're trying to get across the entire album? Because
Yes,
I see the first track is connected, and then 2 is
yes.
digital cube, and then 10 is disconnected. So I can kind
Hmm.
of see like a narrative about, you know, the internet and
Yeah,
just cyber zone discord and stuff like that.
yeah, that is exactly it. The whole album was dedicated to this topic, and it was like about making people waking them up from this, I I don't know, like virtual dream. Show them that there is something behind the walls and that they should
Mm,
look for it, seek where it is, how it looks like, and maybe remember how it was like before, how what was it to have real emotions, real feelings.
mm.
And that's what this whole album is about. Like every song basically is having some message on this topic, or is touching that topic at least a little bit.
Okay. So the I didn't really have a lot of questions about Digital Cube, but Dragonfly Effect. You know, we start out with the first title with the title track, and if you guys
Mhm.
don't know if you guys don't know the actual background of the album is behind you, I believe, or is that something different?
Yes, it
Okay,
is. It
good.
is.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll flash a picture on screen so that they can see it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So Dragonfly Effect.
Well, this album was all about the new chapter of the band, like sound wise, and also we wanted to spread because every time we do some music, we want to spread some message through it, something important, something that we feel like is very deep and important for fans to really feel it, to really think about it, to compare with their own lives,
Mhm.
and motivate them to call them to some action, motivate them somehow. So with this album, it was mainly about celebrating of individuality. So it's most like about humanity, about human nature, about how important to be yourself, be individual, and not be, for example, not be like shallow and in the let others to put you into their boxes just because you are afraid of their opinions or of consequences of how others will see you, because you just need to be true to yourself, and if you are happy with yourself and you are not like harming other people, then it's okay to be different, and it's great to be unique because it's your biggest strength that you have. And that's what we are trying to show to our fans, that they can be ourselves and that they should not be afraid of bullies, because that's basically what gives them power to learn from it and to grow. Because without those bad opinions, we would probably stay all the same and we would not evolve and we will not learn from it somehow.
Mm. I do understand that message. I don't know if this is going to go up before my next album review, but I just reviewed Youngblood's album, and
Hmm.
honestly, I was blown away by it because I a big thing for me when I review music is looking for genu being genuine and
Hmm.
making music that has a good message. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
and then also the composition of music, but it depends on the genre. But
Yeah.
for Youngblood's album, I was genuinely surprised because all of the songs had very deep meanings, and
Hmm.
some of the songs were just kind of like, smile happy good times type songs, but
Hmm.
I still understood the message of it. And
Hmm.
when it comes down to it, that's a big reason why uh when I post a review or stuff like that, I'll occasionally get comments that are like, "Yo, you're wrong. This is stupid." Da, 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 like all that type of
Mm.
stuff. And
Yeah.
ever since January when I started doing reviews, it kind of they kind of like stopped. It kind of like stopped getting under my skin because like if I were to start and then somebody would be like, "This song's good and this song's good or not," like I would just be like, "You know what? Yeah, you're right," and then change my opinion. But
Hmm.
after going through an entire year of reviewing music, I've realized some music I just can't stand. So it's like,
Hmm.
I mean, it takes a lot for me to hate an artist, though. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah.
and some bad artists have great songs. Like, I'm not too, I don't know if you're familiar with the rapper Nav, but I'm not really a big fan of Nav. Uh,
Mm-mm.
but he released a song with a couple other people called Lemonade, and I really enjoy that song. So it's like, it really
Hmm.
just depends on it really just depends on what your preferences are. I mean, some people say because I listen to, deathcore and metal and stuff like that, that I can't listen to rap and I don't have an opinion on it.
Hmm.
But it's like, wouldn't you want to be more varietized in your music? Like that's why I
Hmm.
grew an interest towards your band because I saw EDM and metal, and I'm thinking,
Hmm.
this is some avant-garde type stuff that I've never really gotten into. I know Hollywood Undead with their newest record. Well, not the one that just came out. I have yet to listen to that one, but their
Hmm.
record back in February kind of gave me those thoughts of like electronic metalcore type things.
Hmm.
And there's artists out there, like From Ashes to New, they utilize that stuff very well. Bring the Horizon, they did great with their
Hmm.
weird clash of metal that they did with that album. So, are there any artists that really like kind of uh to push you to like change into the or were you always like into the electronic metal style?
Mm, well, we started in kind of different style, but we had different members in a band. So when we changed the members during the years, also our music preferences changed, and another person started to compose our music,
Mm,
which is my husband Philip. And he composes the music, and me and him, we have the uh same taste on
mm,
music, and I always listened drum and bass and dubstep and house music. So we just started to implement it into metal. And I think we have been probably inspired by Amarante because they were the first that tried to combine such things together, or such different styles, but they are more like more let's say more metal, I would say, even than we are. You know, they have more brutal, um not sound,
kind of
but
tone.
the parts, yeah, the parts that are metal, that they are more metal. So our inspiration is mostly from artists like Alan Walker or Skrillex, maybe. That is like we don't listen to Skrillex a lot, but when I think about such kind of music, he comes to my mind. So
Yeah, it's house and dubstep and stuff like that have like I'm not gonna bash the genre and say that it's a bad genre because it's obviously isn't. It's just never like clicked to me as much like by itself.
mhm,
But I do love a lot of electronic elements when they're implemented into other genres as well. Specifically like going back to Bring Up Horizon again, them using a lot of their like I think it was Ali, like the lead singer and the keyboardist Jordan Fish, who did most of the production for the album, and
mhm.
they used a lot of. Well, I'll put up a different artist, Baby Metal, perfect example.
Oh yeah.
They've literally like I don't even know how to say what they've done. They've put so many genres into one thing, and it just always
Mhm.
worked for me for some reason. So it's like, but when it comes down to like listening to good house music or
Mhm.
dubstep in general, are there any artists that you would like recommend for people to start out with?
To start off, I always loved a band called Pendulum. I don't know if you know them. I think that's a good start, but they have a lot of like brutal kind of drum and bass music. But I'm a girl and I still like it, so I think that's fine. Of course, Prodigy, that is a great blend of genres. I think all the metalheads need to love Prodigy anyways. So that is I think good thing. Of course, Skrillex, because he combines metal and electronics, I would say. That's just my opinion. And from the house music, I really love Alan Walker and all of his collaborations. He's amazing.
Were you a
I
fan of
also used to love
Avicii?
Avicii.
Oh, there you go. Perfect
Yeah,
time. See what I mean? We're on
yeah,
that mental telepathy
yeah. We
thing.
are we are on the same universe, right? Universe is working. But when you say Alan Walker, then you have to say Avicii as well. So
Mhm. So on Wikipedia, you guys are actually listed under genres. You are of heavy metal, symphonic metal, and trance metal. And when I hear those genres like put together, I always think of bands such as Nightwish and Lacuna Coil.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
are
I don't
are
think it's
they
correct.
are they inspirations as well?
Not at all, to be honest. But I'm sorry, I just forgot a very important name, and I feel bad for not mentioning it before, because he's not well-known artist, but I love his music, and he is amazing with the house music and dubstep, and he's called the Fat Rat. I don't know if you know him, but if not, you definitely check him out. He has amazing song called Mayday. So go check out Fat Rat.
Okay,
And
I'll
to
write that
answer,
down. I'll write that down.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's amazing. And yeah, what was the question? Oh my God, sorry.
I was talking about if Lacuna Coil and Nightwish were
Oh yes, if they are
inspirations.
our inspiration.
Yes.
Not really, not really. I like them. Of course, they are legends, and
Mm.
I think first band that I heard like from symphonic metal was Nightwish and Within Temptation. So of course they are very
Oh yeah,
important for
that
the
was another one. I
metal
forgot the
scene.
name.
Yeah, but we are focusing so much on modern music that I think that is not inspiration for us anymore. Maybe when we started, then probably Within Temptation or Nightwish would be our inspiration, but not anymore.
Yeah, I do like to stay up to date with all the new music that comes out. I get a lot of requests to do like older albums, but if I were to review an older album, I would always put future reference to a older album, and it doesn't really
Mm-hmm.
work in that way. Like if I were
Mm.
to, I mean, I would never do this, but if I wanted to review Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory album, uh, it would be hard for me because you can't really, because honestly that album was before I was even born. So it's like I
Mm.
can't really
Mm.
like give my 2 cents about what the music was like back then. So it's like,
Yes, exactly.
so if I'm here
Mm.
to review 2020 and 2021 albums, I have a lot more backgrounds and information about that stuff because
Mm-hmm.
I have my own experiences and I know the music I listen to, and it's easier, you know what I mean? But
Mm.
going back on the title track, I completely forgot that we were that we were still doing the names. Uh
Yeah.
I was gonna name a couple more, but I think I'm just
Okay.
gonna end it with one more. Ready Hun.
Oh,
I
yeah,
I was just
there's
curious about that because the way it's worded, like I just feel like my grandma is telling me that or something. You know what I mean? It's no offense,
yeah.
no offense.
Oh, it's okay, but it's very funny. I can't imagine my grandma or your grandma to listen to this song and dance on it because it's just so dubstep.
I'm the only one in my family that listens to like heavier genres.
Oh.
My family is on the east coast of the USA, so most of them listen to like country music and stuff like that. Me, I can't listen to country. I don't know what it is. I just can't.
Oh, I love country to be honest.
It's not that I hate it. It's just I can't really get into it. Like same with
Mhm.
dubstep and stuff like that. It's a genre that I didn't really get into unless it was implemented. Uh,
Mhm.
like some
Yeah.
artists like do country songs on their albums pretty well, but uh
Mhm.
nonetheless, it's like I can't listen to a whole country album, but I can listen to a country song
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes,
Okay, so
totally.
I don't know how up to date you are with the United States election and stuff like that. Just this is just a question that for me personally. What do people outside the United States think of our electoral are just our elections in general? Because I know you guys are looking over there and saying, "Why the hell do they have Donald Trump as our president?" It's
Well, I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't see in politics much. I don't understand politics at
well, I
all.
it's like some
So,
people that I've spoken to from different countries and stuff like that. They like this is a word from somebody that actually said they were like, "What the hell is wrong with your economy?" and like talking
oh
about
my
our
God.
president and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking, are we the laughing stock of the world leaders?
I don't know. I've heard like many opinions, like both sides. I know I even know people that are upset that Trump isn't president anymore. I know people that really like what he is doing, and I know people that hate what he's doing. So I think that's just normal. Like everyone has different opinions, and of course that on politics that is easy to make an opinion. So
It's actually very
it's just like that.
interesting. It's actually very interesting too that Donald Trump only served one term because I think it was the first time in history of the United States that a president only had one term. He lost the electoral vote and lost the popular vote. So it
Mm.
so I mean Trump made history, but he didn't make it in the way that he wanted to. But moving on from politics, because it seems like I always talk about politics in these videos. But anyway, moving on to some more lighthearted news. A German restaurant down in Frankfurt, they were protesting the pandemic lockdowns by sitting stuffed pandas in the seats of the of the restaurant. And
Wow.
And to add insult to injury, all of the pandas had a drink. What kind of
Oh
drink do
my.
you think it is?
What kind of drink did panda had? Um, was it some alcohol?
Yes.
Was it alcohol? Was it was it beer?
No, it was Corona. They gave the Corona beers to the stuffed
Oh
pandas to like sit
yeah.
at the table. So now when you walk by the restaurant, you just see a bunch of pandas with Coronas just chilling at the
Oh.
just chilling at the table. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is how we get rid of coronavirus. We just put stuffed pandas in
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is so funny because when we have been in Mexico, we did a few videos with because they had the Corona beer there and it's
it.
very popular there. So we had a bunch of videos and like, this is Corona, we have Corona, and it was before everything. And now when we are playing these videos or when we found those videos from the tour, we are like, oh my God,
This did not
this was
age
like
well.
so crazy. Yeah, it was like, oh, we love Corona.
Mhm. It's the same
And
way like when you watch like a zombie movie and everybody's talking about quarantine and pandemic and stuff like that, and then
yeah,
you're
exactly.
you're just sitting there in your chair like,
Yeah, like,
damn,
bitch,
I'm in a zombie
please.
apocalypse.
Yes, yes.
It just didn't really help at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, what something else that I found interesting about this pandemic, for the United States, it's been roughly 9 months, I think, since quarantine and stuff like that. And in my state, I don't know if it's worldwide or if it's in my state, but they're
Hmm.
planning to do a mass distribution of the vaccine. I think it's the Pfizer's
Hmm.
vaccine, and I think the United Kingdom actually approved use of it because it's a 90% effective. Uh, and the thing is too is that I found it funny because when the virus first hit, we only had about 1,000 cases, and they shut everything down. And
Hmm.
now we're at about uh, uh audience to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like 14 million cases, and we have everything open essentially. We still have
Hmm.
restaurants open, we have the malls open. It honestly, for me, it's just ridiculous that that at
Hmm.
this point we're just basically saying, and our numbers are like doubling too by month. So it's crazy to me to say that we were at such a small point at the time, and now we're at such a higher risk of everything that we're still not
Hmm.
taking the necessary precautions. Uh, I don't know how it is over there, but
Hmm.
what kind of precautions have you taken? What kind of precautions have you guys taken, state wise rather, or country wise? I don't know what they're called over
Yeah.
there, but what kind of
Yeah.
precautions have they have over there? Like, are you still allowed to walk around without a mask, or are you still
uh,
have it on and stuff like that?
well, it's changing kind of often in our country, and the last thing was, I think it was like for 2 months. No, wait. I'm not sure, but about a month or 2 months we had a lockdown now. So all the shops has been closed, schools has been closed, and we needed to wear masks outside or and inside, of course, as well. But a few days ago, they opened the restaurants, they opened the shops, and with some restrictions, and you don't have to wear masks outside anymore, only in interior. So they are changing the restrictions now, and let's see how it will be in January, because maybe it
And
will go back to lockdown again, to full lockdown. But
when like did the lockdown get first implemented?
uh wait, I think it was during the first wave already. I don't remember it correctly because we have been at on the tour at that time, and when we came back, we went directly to the quarantine, to personal quarantine for 2 weeks, because everyone who have been in like critical countries needed to go to quarantine
Mm.
here. So,
That
but there was definitely some first lockdown already. But I just don't remember if it was my May or maybe earlier.
uh,
Not
I think
sure.
I think it
Not
was
sure.
May for the other.
Hmm.
I think it was May for European countries because
Oh
March we
wait,
were.
then yeah, then I think I remember that we have been one of the first countries who started with the very strict restrictions. So I think it was then in April, probably March or yeah, April, I think, because I remember that all the countries has been like very easy about it, and we already had very strict restrictions, and it helped a lot at that time. But then during the summer, they ease it a lot. They even let people travel around, for a vacation. So then there was a second wave, obviously.
Yeah, I honestly like all the officials in America are saying that we're in the second wave. Honestly, to me, they feel like it's the fourth wave because like it seems as if every other month it just kind of it spikes and then just goes down, spikes and then goes down because of something that was going on because it I don't know how up to date you are with American news, but let's just say that this year was a shitstorm for the America. Uh so March we get hit with the lockdown and everything starts to go down the toilet. Then as the cases started to settle, I don't know if you know about the George Floyd situation. Uh
Hmm.
but that caused a lot of riots around the city and it was causing a lot of riots around the country as well. So a couple of weeks after those were settled, they started going up again, and then
Hmm.
it stopped again once the schools were starting to come back, so everything was starting to go down. But then after Thanksgiving, everything started to go right back up again. And honestly, obviously, I know why because American capitalism is a flawed system, and and they just did not want to put any kind of restrictions on Black Friday. Basically, there was
Hmm.
no well, there was for stores like you can only have a limited amount of people in the store at a time,
Hmm.
but in my opinion, I don't think it does anything because Walmart, like you can have 10,000, like 1,000 people in Walmart and they didn't care, but you
Hmm.
can't have 10 people in a restaurant or you can't have 16 people what's it called? In a retail store at
Hmm.
once. And it, obviously I'm not saying that the virus is fake because I know there's people who really say that and it really grinds my gears because it's like I'm pretty sure the numbers aren't it's been 9 months. I'm pretty sure we have a good amount of people who are suffering from this. But I myself got tested 3 times and came back negative, but I know
Hmm.
people who've had it and luckily and fortunately fortunately it wasn't severe and they pass and everything, but
Hmm.
it's it's just crazy to think that there's not a lot of tension around this and it's just going crazier and crazier, and
Hmm.
it just seems like America just keeps getting worse and worse. All right, with that rant out of the way, we're just gonna move on to some more lighthearted news again. So basically, we have a news story from UPI. This, and by the way, I'm gonna read I read the titles of the articles exactly as they are. Reported
Hmm.
burglary in California was a dozen fighting raccoons, and
Okay.
this really confused me because I was like, wait, what does this have to do with anything? So, police in California, they responded to a report of a suspected burglary in progress and arrived to find that the cause was about a dozen brawling raccoons. Basically, they were all and the police did the best thing ever. They went onto a Facebook post and
Yeah.
they said on their Facebook, hold on, I'm pulling up the page. Uh basically they were saying basically they said, although mentally prepared to take action for an in progress felony, the crime fighting duo were
Mhm.
surprised to find approximately 12 raccoons in a physical altercation. When challenged, all but one fled westbound. Below, and then they actually put a picture of of one of the raccoon. It's not the real raccoon, but like they just took a stock picture of a raccoon with his and photoshopped his hands up, and then
Oh my god.
police tape. Like this, and another thing about America was like everybody was saying that all cops are bad. How do you explain this? how do you
Oh
explain
my god.
how do you explain them talking about that?
I don't know. It's just crazy.
And my final article also comes from UPI. Cow rescued from a Connecticut swimming pool. Now, I
Okay.
I don't know how Connecticut is. I know that Connecticut is, if I'm wrong, I think it's like a more rural area. But
Uh-huh.
what I'm confused by is who has a pool in Connecticut and who has a cow in Connecticut? Because I'm reading the article. Apparently, it escaped from one of its from someone's
Uh-huh.
pen, and fell into a resident's backyard pool. How do you
Okay.
explain? How do you explain to this? How do you explain this to the fire department? Like, that's an actual question.
Aliens.
That's the answer to everything. If you can't get an
Yeah,
answer,
aliens. They made it.
okay.
Oh.
So we are getting closer to the end of the podcast, but usually when it ends, I always ask for one of your favorite road stories from going on tour or just at a show. Uh,
Oh my
personally,
god.
personally,
Oh
my
yeah.
favorite right now is the Spider Accomplice, when they told me that they bought a rundown van and ended up being, I think like they ended up like breaking down under St. Louis, and the police officer knew who the band was, and I don't remember. Well, actually, I do know the rest of the story, but you guys have to look at it and go to that podcast episode. Sorry, had to get the plug in there, but but yeah, do
Yeah.
you have any you know, crazy road stories that you want to tell, or crazy show stories that may have happened?
Yeah, we have few, but it's hard to explain it. So maybe I will tell you my my personal story that happened on tour. It's kind of girly stuff, but anyways, uh, it was on our during our first during our tour with Amaranth, and it was our first concert. No, wait, it was not the first concert. It was the last or second, whatever. One of the concerts of the tour, and I was in a rush and kind of nervous, and I didn't get there in time. So I needed to dress up very quickly, and I forgot my shoes. I was still, standing by in a backstage by the stage and counting, like you are going there in 1 minute and stuff. And then I realized, oh my God, I don't have my shoes. I am like, I have my barefoot and no shoes. So I ran to the backstage quickly and I took my shoes on, and they had like very long zipper all over it was over knees, and it was all over my leg. There was a zipper, and because those shoes are a little bit bigger than my foot, I am wearing always like kind of thick winter socks in those shoes. And at that time I had some, it was very winter type of socks,
Mhm.
and I forgot to zip on the zipper, so I had a huge hole in the shoes, and my socks has been visible during the whole concert. And at the same time I had my panties visible from my bodysuit, so it was just very crazy experience for me personally, because it was very embarrassing. So
What? I was expecting the end of the story to be like the shoe was too big, so you like went to kick up in the air and the shoe just flew off and hit a fan in the head or something.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be great. Yeah,
Okay.
next time.
All right. Well, that is going to be reaching the end of the podcast. Thank you guys for listening in, and thank you, Marky, for joining me. It's been about a month since the last episode, so I apologize for that. And if you ever want to get back onto the show, just shoot me a message, and we can get another episode going.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. It was fun and very unusual, so I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Is there any final words that you want to give to the viewers, or anything you want to shout out before I end the episode?
Oh yeah, definitely. Don't trust aliens.
Okay.
And be kind to alliers. So because
Okay.
our fans are alliers. So
Okay. Do you want to shout out any of your social media, Spotify, Instagram, anything?
oh yeah, you can find us as Alia Tempora on Spotify, on Facebook, on Instagram, on every platform that you know. So find Alia Tempora.
Okay. There you go, guys. All right. Thank you guys for listening in. We'll see you later.